These are his top 3 least favorite minority groups. Starting with number 3,
Sri Lankans.
The crowd goes wild. Everybody feels like it's safe to laugh now. We're really concerned you might just drop the N-word right from the top there. Here we are, back to the show. Then number 2.
Native Americans.
What is it about the Native Americans that you don't like?
They're poor and dirty.
Wow. Wow. The number 1 least favorite minority group, according to Hans Kim, is
The blacks.
These are his top 3 least favorite minorities.
Hey, all right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, the Dash. I want to say a double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to the elect, Lord willing, where some of those men, the 144,000, along with the mixed multitude. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. And I wanted to kind of what inspired this lesson was this video that you see right here in front of you. And you know, as I kept watching it over and over again, and then you know, trying to find out who this guy is, you know, it just made me think, like, you know, down here, the joke is going to be on you heathen nations, man, right, as well as you wicked Israelites that side with these nations, right, because there's nothing funny about the Israelites' condition down here, but it's okay because it's a part of the curses. To be a reproach and a byword and a proverb to these nations is part of being cursed. You know, you never hear these people, these heathens, other than Esau, outside of Esau. You don't really hear these heathen nations come at these Edomites like that because they're in power. And these heathens, they try their best to do their best rendition of an Edomite, right? And that includes the way they hate Jacob. You know, there's Esau had to teach these nations how to hate Jacob, but these nations always hated us anyway. You know, a lot of the rhetoric that these Edomites spew, these heathen nations tend to spew. Oh yeah, they're right. You know, like this guy, he mentioned the Native Americans and the so-called Native Americans and blacks, which those are government titles that was given to our people, Native American and blacks. There's no black people on the earth. You know, everybody have different shades of brown except for the Edomite, who different shades of red, right? And so, you know, these guys, they think that they're trash, and this is nothing but trash comedy. This guy he's a hack comic, right? You look that up. What is a hack comic? And that's what this guy is. You know, it's usually somebody who come from, well, hack is not that, but a lot of these comedians are usually individuals who come from, you know, affluent lifestyles, and then they find comedy and they think, oh, look, I could do it too, right? And jokes is jokes, but there's a time where jokes are not jokes. And we ain't in a time to be laughing and joking. We ain't in a time to be playing around, right? As the scripture says, right? Scripture says in the book of Ecclesiastes, 3, I believe it's chapter 3. Yeah, a time for everything. There's a time for everything, but you got to know what time you in. It says to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die. So you shouldn't be all messed up in the spirit if somebody's born or somebody died, because everybody got their time, however long or short it is. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. So I mean, a time to plant and a time to do what? To harvest, right? And we're in the end, which is the harvest of the world, which the angels are about to harvest this world, the wheat from the tares, right? A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, right? A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, right? And if you look at the world that we're in, this is not a time to laugh. Everybody's mourning. The vast majority of the people of the earth are mourning, I shall say. All right? So you in the middle of a funeral and you just break out laughing. Like, that's off. You know, even the people at the funeral are gonna look at you like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You know? Well, America is about to have its funeral, and you nations should be mourning because you're about to be taken out of power, right? Starting with you Edomites, you elite banking family Edomites, right? And they spew this visceral hate. All these nations, you gotta understand, from the top of these nations to the lowest of these nations, they are our enemies and they hate us, and it shows. This guy's bullshit comedy. He claims that he hates Native Americans because they're dirty and poor. Well, why have Native Americans, so-called Native Americans, been impoverished? Well, first of all, it's because of the curses. They're Israelites. He don't know that, right? They've been oppressed, subjugated, and relocated to the corners of America, where you don't even see them. You don't even see Native Americans on a whole en masse. And if you do, you'll mix them up with the Northern Kingdom, with the other Northern Kingdom, so-called Hispanics, Latinos, and Mexicans, right? But they were driven to the corners of the earth as Esau conquered America, right? And the corners are nothing more than ghettos, which those reservations that they're on are nothing but ghettos, and they've been made a mockery, right? They've been made a mockery via television, academia, or media, academia, pop culture. They've been made a joke, and even you gooks have been made a joke. But see, you gooks, you're not oppressed. You're not oppressed people, right? You got these Koreans. I believe this dude's Korean, which he would be a Moabite, so-called. They're just an off branch of China, right, and Japan. Right? They're just an offshoot of a mixture of those two, of Moabites and Ammonites. But you Moabites, you have nothing to hate on our people about because we ain't never did nothing to you. Not on this side. Now King David, our King David, he subjugated you fucking nations, bro, and rightfully so, because you're nothing more than a washpot. You're a nation of servants, and you can tell through their spirit, right? You can tell through their spirit that Moab and Ammon are nothing but a washpot, right? Let me see if I can find that. I'm gonna find it. Salaki. Yeah, no, that's not it. Khan, this is the book of Psalms 108 and 9. It says, Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Over Philistia will I triumphant, triumph. Which to throw your shoe in the ancient East at someone was a sign of disrespect. You seen that in what happened to George Bush some years ago when he was president. This Iraqi dude took his shoe off and tossed it at him, and he ducked. It says, Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Right? So let's go to that word for washpot. Washpot in the Hebrew is sayar. Sayar. Right? Sayar. Right? And it says pot, a utensil, thorn hooks, springing up rapidly, boiled up from the root, fish hook, washpot. Right? Implication. Right? I want to see what it says in the other Bible translation. Yeah, ain't got nothing. It says Moab, but Moab, my wash basin, will become my servant. Exactly, absolutely. And I will wipe my feet on Edom. So Edom is going to completely be destroyed. Remember, the scripture said we're going to make Edom shall be the dust. You can go to Obadiah 1:18, right? Edom is going to be ashes underneath our feet. And you Moabites, you're going to be the servants. So here it is, the servant over here mocking the masters, man. And that would be, it's tantamount to the northern and the southern kingdom. He mentioned the so-called Native Americans, and he mentioned the so-called blacks. Right here it is. This dude is a whole fucking heathen. He has nothing to be proud of. He's weak in every form. This dude was created through his forefathers through an act, well, by his foremothers, by an act of drunken, a drunken incest. All right, his nation was created because his simple ass mothers thought that all men on the earth were dead, so they got their father lot drunk, and then they got knocked up, and they created these heathen that you see today. Which the Lord just created two more heathen nations. That's all He did, right? Moab and Ammon, and they don't have a place in a sanctuary of the Lord. These Moabites are completely heathenistic, heathen, complete heathens, like Esau, complete heathen, right? And they've always been proud against our people, you know, Ammon and Moab, right? This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25. I'll start at 1. The judgment of Gentile nations, right? And it's a list. They go from Ammon to Edom to Philistine. So these, you know, you got these so-called Christians, even Asian Christians. And you got our people scattered amongst them. But for the most part, these people are heathen, and they don't have a place in the kingdom of heaven for salvation, for eternal rulership, and eternal life. They're not getting that. They're getting judgment. Right? This is the word of Yahweh. Bashem Yahushua came again unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Ammonites, and prophesy against them, and say unto the Ammonites, Hear the word of the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, because thou saidest, Aha, against my sanctuary, when it was profane, and against the land of Israel, when it was desolate, and against the house of Judah, when they went into captivity. Behold, therefore I will deliver thee to the men of the east for a possession. Who are the men of the east? We are the Israelites. And they shall set their palaces in thee, and make their dwellings in thee, and they shall eat thy fruit, and they shall drink thy milk. We're going to take their wealth. We're going to take their strength. Okay? And that's judgment to you Ammonites. Because you treated us like we were nothing, like we were a heathen nation, and we aren't. Right, let's get down to Moab. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Moab and Seir are two ancient names for the nation of Moab, which today would be called so-called Chinese. You can throw them Koreans up in there too. And Seir is a so-called white man, Edom. All right, and they've always linked together, and that's why you see this bullshit right here. This shit is led by a Edomite, right? This trash comedy guy that's called Kill Tony, right? And they got shit bag comedians on here, and they just sit at a round table with Jake's involved too. They just sit at a long table talking shit, you know, and being heard. And in reality, these nations should never be heard. That's why in the kingdom it's gonna be quiet. You heathens, you're not gonna open your mouth to say shit, because we're not gonna play that. You see, like here in America, you can talk about the president. In these other nations, you can talk about the kings, and they just laugh. Ha, ha, ha. Everybody's laughing. But what that does is sow discord and disrespect. And you're going to respect our king. You're going to respect Yahushua. You're going to respect Yahweh. You're going to respect Yahushua. You're going to respect King David. Nobody's going to make no jokes about King David or the rest of the 144,000 or any of the Israelites. There's not going to be no jokes about us. The humor is going to be you nations getting destroyed. That's going to be humor, right? Because you nations, you hate us. And it's evident. It's evident that you nations hate us. Let's go back to Ezekiel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Moab and Seir do say, Behold, the house of Judah is like unto all heathen, right? And that's what you say. We like all you nations. You know, going to you talking about blacks. We ain't no fucking blacks. And then Jake gonna stand up at the end like he was gonna do something. He ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. You let that nigga, that group walk the earth talking shit. This is what the sovereign Lord says, because the people of Moab have said that Judah is like all the other nations, man, and we're not. Because Judah is a nation unto itself. Gad, which you call the so-called Native Americans, are a nation unto himself. And you say we're like what? It don't matter who this dude like or not. But just, you hear the baseness of why these nations don't like us. Right? He don't even know why he don't truly like us. These nations truly don't like us is because the Lord is dealing with us and not them. Right? So what would be his thing for hating so-called Native Americans? Oh, they're dirty and they're poor. Nigga, they were made poor. Right? The heathen nations took advantage of our people, well above what the Lord put forth for our judgment. Dirty. These motherfuckers eat all manners of abominations. They're complete idol worshippers. They have no part with Yahweh Basham Shai. You go to China, I've been to Korea, I lived in Korea. I know how these motherfuckers get down. Right? They don't believe in Yahweh Basham Shai at all. They believe in Buddha, right? For prosperity and money. They believe in all manners of wickedness, sexual depravity, complete idol worshippers. And then they had the audacity to make fun of us. Let me see. Asians and blackface. From Japan to China to Korea. You see that shit all the time. Look at this shit. They hate Jake, but they want to be Jake. Right? Look at this shit. Right? These are Moabites. He's supposed to be Eddie Murphy, Japanese comedian. So it's always funny till it ain't funny. Right? These other nations mock Jake. As the scripture says in the book of Psalms 44:13, thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, which are these different heathen nations, a scorn and a derision. Right? It says, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen and a shaking of the head among the people. Because when they see us, they just shake their head and look at Jake like, oh man, they're low people. Not mentioning that we were brought low. Right? We are oppressed. Right? And these nations took advantage of us. Right? They continue to make fun of our oppression. Right? But soon as something happened to them, they want the world to come together and band for them, band together with them. What a Chinese or Japanese or Korean person has nothing to look down on us. They are a weak nation, right? Anybody that's something of them amongst them gotta be one of our people that's scattered amongst them. They make fun of us, they joke against us. We didn't put them motherfuckers in slavery. We ain't put no chains on their necks. Right? We didn't take their land. We didn't take their history. We didn't take their culture. But they do that to us. Right? Right? They darken their skin up and they put curly hair on their head and they joke on Jake, man. You see this shit all the time across Asia, and this is supposed to be funny. How is this? Ain't no comedic value in this shit, and we're not Africans. Right? So they'll get Jake on here and dress as so-called Hamites like they in a fucking bush. And then these motherfuckers come right behind you and make fun of you. You see? And this is us being made a reproach amongst these heathens. This is us being made a byword amongst these heathens. Right? They're dirty, they stink. All right, we're going to see who stinks and who's dirty when your ass is in chains and you can't wash your ass. Right? You ain't allowed to look at us in our eyes. You better keep your heads down, always. Nigga, unless we give you permission to look up. Let's go back to this. I want to read this in NLT. Yeah, I ain't tripping at this group hate us. I don't care. It's just another sign that we're hated amongst the nations. That's all. It ain't about shit. It don't turn my day either way. But it's something you can edify with. Among these nations, we have no friends. The only thing that I ever take from that demon John Hiram Clark is that amongst these nations, we have no friends. Right? It says, Psalms 44:13 in the NLT, you let our neighbors mock us. We are an object of scorn and derision to those around us. You have made us the butt of their jokes. They shake their heads at us in scorn, right? Because of our iniquity. You wanted to imitate these nations. You wanted to be like these nations. You wanted to worship their gods. Now you're going to be the butt of their jokes. You're going to be scattered amongst them, living amongst them, eating amongst them, having to be around these people. We can't escape the constant humiliation. Shame is written across our faces, man. But these curses are going to be put on these heathen nations, right? Deuteronomy 30 and 6. I believe it's 30 and 6. Maybe 30 and 2. Get it. 30 and 7, Salaki. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And the Lord Yahweh, thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And this is nothing more than another semblance of hate, right? Why don't you make fun of your fucking people, you flat-faced, chicky-eyed gooks? Why don't you make fun of them? They got a lot of jokes. Fucking Japanese, fucking Koreans, fucking Chinese. Make fun of them. Why you gotta point us out? It's because you hate us. But these curses are gonna go on to y'all. In the kingdom, y'all gonna be made a mockery, a scorn, a derision. All you nations, from you so-called white people to you so-called Chinese, Japanese, Korean people, to goddamn Hamites, the real Africans, right? Right? Y'all gonna be made, y'all, yeah, this shit right here, bubble girls, or the bubble sisters, right? These are fucking Koreans imitating Jake, but this is how they view Jake, as ghetto. And you know, you Jakes, they don't help you live for the fucking stereotypes. You actually invite these stereotypes into yourselves, man, by the way you act and dress, and the way you talk, the way you treat each other. See? Y'all invite these stereotypes. And most Jake, you don't look at Korean TV or Japanese TV or Chinese TV, but you don't see yourselves being mocked. But it's there. It's absolutely there. Right? They make this is a joke to them. Ha 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 ha. Now I guarantee you, in the kingdom of heaven, they ain't gonna be doing no shit like this. This shit ain't gonna exist. Right? In the kingdom of heaven, ain't gonna be no fucking gooch dressing like Shaq and Kobe. This is what they look like. This is what you look like in their eyes, man. Fucking bubble sisters, man. We gonna bust your bubble with fucking faces, man. We gonna swell you fucking gooks up. And you gooks wasn't always like this either. You used to be a brown skinned people. Till you start getting with them Arabs and Greeks. You start lightening up over time. Your ass going back to that, you gonna be the derision. Right? We gonna make fun of you. Right? You wanna imitate Jake. You wanna imitate Jake's style. Some of these gooks are our people. They go back to us, but you want to imitate us, right? You gonna get it, man. You nations gonna get it, man. And you ain't gonna be able to wipe that shame away. You ain't gonna be able to wipe that shame off. All right. Let's go back to Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. All thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. That's all you nations. All you nations, starting with the nation of Edom, the so-called white man. And the list goes on down. 17 nations, y'all going into captivity. From Japheth over here in the Isles to Goop land over there in China, Japan, and Korea, and anywhere else you heathens are scattered and spread about the world. We're going to gather you up, and we're going to devour you. We're going to put you into captivity, because all of y'all are our enemies. You are our adversaries. Again, amongst these nations, we had no friends. We're going to take the best of your women. Only time we deal with you nations is going to be when we take your women. And we ain't got to take them. They're going to come to us. They're going to come to us. Right? Willingly. Right? Willingly. And they ain't going to want you. You ain't going to get the best of your women. Hell no. You're going to get the worst of your women. You gooks. You Edomites. You Hamites. You're going to get the worst of your women. That's what you got to work with. And every so often, you like you say, you got to say it, a diamond in the rough. You'll get a nice looking heathen out of there. And where's she going? Straight to us, bro. An A train straight to Israel, man. Yasha Allah. She going straight to the A train, baby. So you can get the D train. Lamentations 2 and 15. All that passed by clapped their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city of that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Because you see how messed up Jake is, the condition that we're in. The vast majority of our people are located in these concentration camps called ghettos, reservations, barrios, third world countries, right? Fucked up. So these nations don't look at us like a city of perfection. And this is how you know Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. And all thine enemies, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash teeth, saying, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. And that's what these nations, when they got together, right? Psalms 83 speaks about it. This is part of their confederacy. To swallow us up, to destroy us, to make us a mockery. And then you got Jake out here trying to imitate these nations. You wanna imitate and copy or whatever. Oh, we need to get together like these goops, like these Chinese, Japanese. We need to put our money together. Da da da. Nah, nigga. Them people ain't perfect. These nations ain't perfect. They're nothing to be envied. They should not be nothing to be copied. Imitated? No. Duplicated? No. These are our enemies, man. This is Psalms 83, and I'll start at 3. They have taken crafty counsel against. Matter of fact, I'll start at 1. Keep not thy silence, O Most High. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Heavenly Father. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. Thine enemies, who are our enemies? The nations. We're going to get to the list. Make a tumult, and they that hate thee. So these nations, not only are they our enemies, but they hate the Lord. They hate us. They have lifted up the head in pride. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? The Israelites. They consulted against us. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha Allah may be no more in remembrance. So they kept us separate, right? Even though we are all oppressed together, right? They keep us separated via so-called culture, language, mostly language and bullshit culture that they gave us, right? They kept us in the dark. These nations knew that we were the children of Israel. We are the children of Israel, so-called New York Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. They know that we're the Israelites, but they keep Jake apart and keep you fighting against each other. So you never know who you are. But they have consulted together with one consent. They are a confederate against thee. There's the list right here. The tabernacles of Edom, this is the so-called white man. The Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs. The Moabites, so-called Chinese. The Hagarians, I believe these are a tribe of Ishmaelites. Let me see. Hagarians, Hagarites, tribe, a people dwelling on the east of Palestine, with whom the tribe of Reuben went to war in the time of Saul. The wanderers, I believe these are, Arabian clan. I had it right. Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs, right? Hagarians, right? So these are more Arabs. Gabal, which these are Edomites. Gabal, right? Gabal, a mountainous area of the South Dead Sea, the region of Idumea. So this is a tribe of Edomites. Ammon, so-called Japanese today. Amalek, the top tribe of Esau, Edom. The Philistines, fucking Hamites, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur, which these go back to the Assyrians. Ashur, right? Ashur, or Ashawar, right? Which is steps of Shem, the Assyrians, man. Fucking Assyrians. The Assyrians is joined with them. They have help the children of Lot. Who the children of Lot? Moab and Ammon. Fucking goops, man. Fucking goops, bro. So these people are our enemies. So they call us a minority because remember, one of the curses that the Lord said He's gonna make us small in all the places we are scattered, right? But when we come together, man, we're more numerous than any nation on the planet Earth. When we come together, see? So yeah, these nations, man, they hate us, man, and this is evident. These nations hate it. And so with that, I'm gonna say shalom and on to the next.